150, tactical off-road racing.
And good afternoon, well, nearly afternoon. A few moments, you're coming, to us live. We're here at the Welsh 150 2024. We've moved location. We're actually now on the very top of the site. As you can imagine, this morning, if you were able to catch us for this morning's live, we're on the start line. We've got guaranteed vehicles there on the start line. I'm literally looking at the hill that we were seeing from the start line, and I've moved up to the top of the site, and what we're going to try and do is try and capture some cars going past. So I am up in the quarry at the top of the site, and we're up near the bogey section, so maybe we'll see some cars coming through this bogey section. So what this section is essentially an area that everybody has to kind of go through. It's got some obstacles in it. It's a bit tricky. It's going to make them think. It's obviously going to be speed based on this, so it's going to be the quickest time through this section. But there's a lot of twisty, turny, nasty little obstacles to catch people out, so they can't go that fast anyway. They have to do this section once a lap. We've had, I think, 10, maybe 11 people through this section so far, and you can see here the marshals who are covering this section. Then if I pan around to here, it's Marshall Point I, and we've got here, this is literally part of the course, so this is part of the live course. This is called the Infinity Logs because all you can see, and we've driven this, is all you can see is just sky behind the logs from the driver's seat. But now people are getting used to the course. They know how hard, how fast they can push on certain sections like this. So we've actually seen people clearing these logs. They hit this first log and clearing that. So hopefully maybe we'll see a car come through here. I can see some cars out in the sort of the Bluebell Hill where we were earlier on. So we're probably about sort of a few minutes away from them getting up to us here. And then you can see in our distance there, that's where our media is located today. And we'll also get the drone up and flying.
You try to jump there, I like that because it makes it more interesting. Yeah, well, it cost me about £6,000. Yeah, did the chassis, then all the coil over the axle.
So it's day two, just to recap. So it's day two. So this is the 10-kilometer laps. They can only do a maximum of 10 laps today. And I think we've already seen people putting in 4 to 5 laps already. And it's only about halfway through the day. So they're out till, I believe, 5:30 this evening. So for everybody joining us, you can see we've got some cameras out and about trying to give you some action. Obviously it's pretty spread out, but we've got cameras in multiple locations. So we'll try and pick the best camera which has hopefully the best action for you. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you want a particular camera, if there's a view you're favouring, if there's a section that you want to see. And for those people at home who are following a particular team, you've also got the Welsh rallies. So the URL, the Welsh Hill Rallies. and we've got that now down below on the screen, so you can see that. And that will give you basically the course times. Right, so if you do look at that feed, you'll see at the moment that you've got car number 8 at the top, but that's not necessarily to say they're in the lead. Oh, we actually have a car on course in front of me. Right, so this is Alpha Fab, and they're actually going to do so Simon Ward, James Watts here, Team Alpha Fab. It looks like they're actually going to do the bogey section. So the marshal's just explaining quickly what's going on. So what they have to do is try and get through here in the quickest possible time. They're going to love the fact they got a camera on here. So Team Alpha Fab, one of the sponsors of the event. Now I haven't actually seen this, so we've got, looks like a up the hill there, so they're following the arrows. And just to give you a quick pan round as well, we've got another car coming live on the live track beside us. And going across those infinity logs and off out on track. If we pan back to Team Alpha Fab, just going through the bogey section. And we believe we've got a drone up above me as well at the moment. So as I said, it's about getting around all these obstacles in the quickest possible time. Looks like they've got a garage here to shunt into as well, so they've got a bit of reverse parking, a bit like a driving test. So if you're just joining us live, we're on top of the site for the 150 2024, and you're watching Alpha Fab in the bogey section. They've got to do this just once today, once tomorrow. So now they've got this under their belt. You can see how many laps these guys have done by checking out the live timings on the Welsh Hill Rallies. So you have to do a lap today, and there's a maximum of 10 laps. And you've got 3 punch sections. The reverse parking, which is kind of difficult in these trucks. You've got no mirrors. You don't usually go backwards. And that's then done the bogey section, and off they go back onto the live course. Just seen from the marshals that was a clear run, so no penalties there. So these guys are just double checking everything's okay. And it looks like we've got some traffic coming in. So we've got Nick Bolt just catching up, Alpha Fab there. So the two cars that you just saw us depart here in the quarry, we're sharing those from the drone, and I think I hear another car entering the quarry. Let's pan around and see if we can capture them. So we've got car number 11 on 80's camera in the woods there. And the cars are coming through thick and fast now. So Anthony Waterfield there in car 33. So yeah, Ryan Lawrence, Anthony Waterfield there looking strong coming through this section. It sounds like we might have another car join us very shortly as well up here. Now we've been watching the timings, and we do think that we'll have a lot of cars making the full target 150. Now watch these Can-Ams go. Whoa, just missed that one, sorry guys. So that was a Polaris, they just absolutely eat up the bumps, they can just clear that. So on that first lap this morning, everybody did a punch from what I was told down in control. So that's because there are some easy punches, there's some difficult punches, there's some easy punches. And of course, everybody's going to go for the easy ones first. There's some serious pace out here today. And the clouds are thin and the sun's coming out. So we've got some footage from the other side of the site where I'm stood. I'm actually probably about just under halfway of the course. Looks like we've had a quick batch of cars through here now. Got some spectators out here enjoying the sunshine. Marshals as well, chilling out over there. So we do think we'll have a fair few people making the 10 laps today. From checking on the live timings. So we had 28 starters a day of the 33 cars that were on the start line last night. We might have had a couple of retirements since I last checked, but it's a good course. It's certainly a race of attrition, really, but there's some good, nice flowing bits, not too boggy. Winch sections do make pit cars think. We've seen a few rollovers and stuff like that, but that's all part of the course. And we can see some winching going on Martin's camera. And I get to say hello to the drone. As you can see, we've got drones out here. Just there on the top of that hill is our little media centre for the weekend. And then we have a couple of other mobile cameras out around site. Just roaming, just trying to capture some cars for you guys. So as you can see on the screen at the moment, 2 cars. I'm guessing that's over in a challenge section somewhere on the other side of the site. From where we stood, we can just about see most of the top of the site. We're about one of the highest points here, so it gives us quite a clear view. And I can't really give you a picture of it, but it's way off in the haze and the distance. But I can see some people collecting punches and stuff. So there's still plenty of cars out on track. But yeah, give us a comment. Let us know who you're supporting, who you're following. Yes, just to recap, they've got till 6:30 to do 10 laps. There's some fast cars out there putting in some pretty consistent lap times at the moment. So I do think most people out there will get their 10 laps. But hey, it's lunchtime now. People might have done their 5 laps this morning, booked in lunch, and decided to do 5 more. So if you can't see your team out and about, they're probably in the pits having a break. Oh, and here we have, look, I think it's Kirk B-Sides just coming in to the point I. Just like that, they're off into the Welsh Hills side. They seem to be backing off the pace a little bit. Usually they're going a bit faster, so hopefully they haven't got any technical issues. So we've just checked, and people up in our little mobile media centre here have just been looking on the Welsh Hill rallies for the live timings, and we think Mark Dean, they might have done 5 laps already. So, I mean, we're halfway through the day now, got till 6:30 this evening, so they should be on target, really, to do the 10 laps today that they need to get in. Yeah, just in Cope Science. Heading off to the other side of the site. Not usually, they're going a bit more full bore than that, so let's hope they're just taking it easy, saving the car, and they haven't got any problems or issues there. Of course, another one of our sponsors. So our other sponsors, Wilderness Lighting, Giggle Pin, and of course Terra Firma. Gwen Lewis 4x4, as well as another sponsor.
So, yeah, just to come into section 3. So they're probably going to have to winch out of there, I would imagine. Yeah, co-driver's out. So you can see on the drone there, the organisers have put a little digger as a winch point for that wet area that could be stuck in code. Now I think our media base will confirm, but I think Kirkby's trying to run 4 laps currently. Is that right? Sorry, that's furlong and furlong. Yeah, getting the winch right out. So it's these kind of boggy sections here that sort of level out the field between the really fast cars, particularly like the UTV-based cars and the sort of bigger, slower challenge trucks. Yeah, so that's Kirkby Signs, Furlong, car 34. They've done 4 laps so far, so they're sort of well on track for doing their allotted 10 laps today. We're going to winch off that digger as we were talking about a moment ago. Easy to get a good attachment on a piece of equipment like that. This is definitely a fit person's game, the co-driver's job on an event like this. There we go, we see them making light work of that now. And they're up. So we'll see if they choose to do a punch in the next section. We've got a few cars still out on the hillside, across the other side of the valley. So just a reminder for those who are looking at the results, current standings online. It's not all about time, it's not all about number of laps. The competitors have to complete 150 kilometres of racing distance, which is 15 full race laps, and complete punches every lap. If they don't complete the punches, they get a time penalty. The time penalties can add up to as much as 75 minutes a lap, and we're seeing a fast lap being done in about 44 minutes. So, they really need to be putting in those punches, and we won't be able to see who's actually going to be the winner until we get to the end of the day. Quite often what happens on these 150 events, there's competitors coming in at starting time, completing their 150k very late in the day on Sunday, having done a lot of punches and aggressively overtaking cars that have come in the fastest time much earlier in the day. If a car goes out, retires mid-lap, we've seen a few of them sort of come in on the farm access tracks and escorted in by marshals with walking wounded, limping in with things like punctures and minor damage. If they don't complete that lap, it doesn't count at all. We don't count the sort of half mileage if they do a half lap. It only counts if they do a full 10k lap. There on the drone footage, you can see Kirkby Science still trying to get in to get a punch there on that punch zone 3. And that's exactly what we're talking about. That's one of the faster cars there. And you can see struggling to get into position there in those trees. It's 3 different punch zones, so if it takes you 10 minutes to punch, you could be putting in half an hour extra time on a lap compared to a car that's just going around and doing a fast lap. But compared to the 75 minutes penalty, that's pretty preferable on your overall time. So those of you who aren't familiar with the idea of the punch challenge here, what they have is they have a punch card, a lavender, normally the left-hand front A pillar of the car, and then the punches themselves are the same as they're used in orienteering, a little clip with a certain combination of pins in it, and they have to punch the relevant box on their card with the relevant punch. And then each lap they have to hand that into the marshal at the end of the course to prove that they've done the punches, and they get a new card for the next lap. It's down to the drivers and co-drivers to track that they're not doing the same punches again and again. They have to do a different punch every lap in each zone until they've done all the punches in any particular zone, and then they can repeat them as much as they like. So what you tend to find is that there's easier punches, there's harder punches. Obviously the easier punches can take less time, but it's a bit of a tactical balance of when they choose to do those easy punches, when the road's quiet, are they going to get cut up, are they going to get harder to get through the day? And some of the harder punches can get sort of easier to drive again once more vehicles have been in. So that's what the tactical aspect of this racing format is that planning and trying to work out when the best time to take the penalty or best time to attack particular punches. See another car come. 75 minutes penalty if you miss all the punches. It's 25 minutes per punch per lap. We're seeing some cars coming in with an hour and 10 of penalties, so that'll also be if they've missed zones, cut corners, taken out flags and such like. Marshall's got their eye out for people not adhering to the course. bit of a tortoise and a hare race in many ways, this race. I think last year at this site we saw the first 150k completed quite early in the morning on Sunday, and we still had cars coming in completing the 150k within minutes of the time cut off, but cars who'd taken less penalties and were equally under the chance of winning that fast car across the line physically in terms of race distance. And of course, like any event of this type, it's really a war of attrition. You've not only got the technical aspects, but you've got the pure distance on quite rough terrain to achieve. So keeping the car in one piece, driving within your limits, keeping the car the right way up. We've already seen quite a few rolls yesterday and today. Quite a few retirements. There's 3 or 4 cars I think now out. A couple that didn't start this morning. Down to 28 starters out of 37 entries or something this morning. Yeah, so 33 cars in theory remaining this morning, and only 28 went out on track, so we've already had a few retirements. A couple of cars. It's definitely a form of motorsport where all the vehicles are custom made. Even things like the side-by-sides are heavily modified from factory standard. So always scope for something to go wrong that you can't necessarily easily replace. We've seen a fair few people pull over by the roadside or side of the course, shall we say, and start working on the cars there and then, obviously trying to fix minor issues and carry on going. So as we can see on both the drone and Grizz cam there, that little gully is one that catches people out. Oh, we're going to have someone drive it in one shot here, maybe? Yeah, there you go. And that's how you gain a huge amount of time. Just heard over the radio that number 3 appears to be 6 laps completed now, which is about the most amount of race distance done so far. Got to imagine that they're going to be finished early on their maximum number of laps today, maximum of 10 laps they can do today. They managed to put in 10 laps today. Behind the prologue and the pre-qualifier. They've only got 3 laps to do tomorrow. So 8:30 to 3:30 tomorrow. We'll probably be trying to go a couple of lives. And we'll have results for you coming live as well at 4:30. So if you're following from home, stay tuned to the Welsh Facebook page, and we'll try and keep you updated as the weekend progresses. All the side-by-sides coming through on the drone here. See the way these guys cover ground. I think that's Shabs in the Can-Am. I'll watch how they clear this gully. Yeah, it's going to have a difficult to identify who's who out here as the cars get more and more muddy through the day. Can't see the numbers anymore, so you're pretty much running on the shape and the type of the car. So we got a close up there from AD of one of the cars taking on a punch there. You can just about see those guys on the drone as well. So you see the sort of position that the cars have to get into to get some of these punches here. That was almost vertical. Navigator's out the car, getting the card. And then you see they've got the punch. And they're going to start letting the car back down off the winch. Oh, hang on, no, I'm wrong. They have to get a little further in to get that to reach. So they're still trying to work the car further forward, further up that slope. You can see the red band around the tree, or pink band, I think. They've got to try and get that alongside the A-pillar of the car. Dropping back out now, so we've seen they've got it. See, lowering themselves back down on the winch. The driver disconnects and they wheel back in the stack. Now the rules are that once they're out the car like this, when they get back in, they've got to get their window nets back on, they've got to get their harnesses back on. If they've got a neck restraint device, hands or something like that, they've got to get those back on. So you quite often see the cars stop for quite a period of time after these winching sessions. I think that's car 18 there in the woods. Can't see for the drone. So they were doing very well yesterday. Fast qualifying lap, fast couple of laps out today. Started today 6th overall after the qualifying. So they're definitely someone to watch because they're obviously getting those punches pretty good. And they're putting in the fast laps. So they're definitely someone to keep an eye on. Coming in. Come in. Okay. We got some footage here from 80. Looks like we're down in one of the punch sections across the other side of the site. Yeah, it's down in punch section 3 down the bottom of the valley there, Paul. Punch section 3, Rich reckons, stood next to me. We're just looking at 80's feed coming into us now. So we can get that with the drone as well from above and see what's going on down there. Looks pretty cut up in there, but not too damp, which is pretty good. I think it's every minute that goes by without us having another shower, it starts getting drier and drier, so seems to be happy about that. Yeah, I mean, we were looking earlier and we reckon that there isn't too much mud on the cars. Still getting quite hard to see some of the numbers. Yeah, I'm not sure whose Polaris that is that's just gone past us, but Polaris has just gone flying past over the jump up here at the quarry, so we should be seeing that again on my camera in a minute as it comes around. Is that the guys there we were watching a moment ago on AD's cam? That's car 18, isn't it?
That does look like we've now got, the drone up above where AD's camera is.
So this is what I was talking about a minute ago. They take quite a while to get back in the car. Mind you, that looks like they've got some form of problems there. One of the crew just got under the car. Oh no, it's into the car. Gull wing doors.
Yeah, skull wing doors on that one. Yeah, there's that old G-Wagon.
Tell you what, that Polaris is moving, isn't it?
Certainly is. There's a definite difference in pace around here today. I've seen some people moving very, very quick, and we can see across the top of the site, cars just lighting up across the top of the site. And then we've got some cars obviously playing the long game, going a bit slower, trying to conserve probably.
Yeah, kind of what it's all about on this site, isn't it? You can cover some serious ground if you've got a faster car, but you're going to be taking a lot of penalties unless you get in there and get some of those more difficult punches.
Right, where are you at now on the drone?
Just over that punch section. So we've just seen that faster car come past and cut off a lot.
Oh, and Team Alpha Fab has just come past us up here in the quarry. So we saw them earlier on this live doing a bogey section at the beginning of the live. So that gives you an idea of their kind of lapping probably about half an hour, would you say, 40 minutes?
Yeah, I think I saw a couple of people down under 40 minutes on a sort of fast lap, avoiding the punches. That's them coming back down the hill now towards punch section 3 on the drone. So Alpha Fab's quite an interesting car here. We've seen them over the years at the Welsh events. It's quite well set up for the challenge sections, but it's quite quick when they get it out in the open as well. So it's exactly the kind of thing that does well on these events. Don't think they've ever won it, have they? Do they?
I do not believe they have, no. I did think they had apparently an issue with a turbo earlier, and they had to swap a turbo, I did hear in the pits.
And that's the kind of thing that most people wouldn't consider routine maintenance between sessions, isn't it? But
And that section
Polaris stuck down there in the mud as well.
does look pretty cut up down there. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it, from the roof?
Yeah.
Let's just see how Alpha Fab get through there.
Seen a couple of cars just
Yeah, I mean, you can see by the articulation on the Alpha Fab car just how deep it is in there, how they just rocked through that bit there, and now they're just tyres are full of mud. They're just going to try and claw the way up the top. So that's why they've got the digger up the top there. That's their winch point, but obviously that's going to burn time. They're going to try and drive it at all costs. There you go, winch, co-pilot out with the winch.
It's really deceptive when you look at it from the drone as well. You can't see the angle of that they're working at there. It's only when you see the co-driver struggling to climb up that you realise just how steep it is, just how uneven it is, and how cut up it is now. Nice little anchor point there.
Yeah, isn't that Dougie we saw drive over there with the digger earlier?
I guess it must be. It was on a sort of cross-site mission in the digger.
So I'm guessing that's where he disappeared off to.
It's quite the drive from here. In the digger. See, this is quite interesting when the guys start getting this sort of situation. You start to get winch cables tangled around each other's wheels if they're not taking care and looking out for each other.
Yeah, and of course in the Polaris you got there, that's going to have a smaller winch cable as well. There's no way going to be able to fit the same amount of winch rope as challenge-orientated trucks.
Again, it's one of the advantages that guys in the heavier trucks have in these kind of conditions. Big, powerful winches. There we go. We see Alpha Fab disappear off. Goes to show how the site levels out the technical driving between the heavy trucks and the...
Yeah, perfect example. I mean, we saw the Polaris come through here like hell for leather. I mean, so light, nimble, across the logs, no problems at all. Seeing as that they do hit the bottom on those mud patches, they can get stuck. And that's where the faster winching and the winch challenge craft really shows over something like the Polaris. But they'll soon catch up. The site opens out. There's certainly loads of these small, stickier bits, but there's also some open bits where it's really going to favour that side-by-side.
Yeah, definitely. just chuckling to myself because we're about 600-700 meters of rough terrain away from these guys now, and you can hear the engine of that Polaris screaming as they were going up the hill. I've been watching the punch area there. The Polaris has come right out up on top of the mountain. Another 5k of track away now. We also have Alpha car 18. Just watched a couple of minutes ago the Polaris way out over the top of the mountain. And still see car 18 in Alpha Cloud percent. I don't know whether those guys do have problems. Got another car coming into the next act. Right, it's coming through.
not sure, we just had a battery change on the camera, so I was changing the battery on the camera, I wasn't working.
Oh, hang on a minute. Lost road as well. Promise to everyone that we are technically professionals. Exactly through this. Once we avoid the rain, I'm quite happy. Mobile cameras out there somewhere as well. Ian Martin in amongst the trees over there somewhere. It's hard to tell what's a red light and what's a drone. Just pan around to our little media centre here, top of the quarry. So our producers and the people who speak in our ears. Media centre here. Quarry. So our producers and the people who speak in our ears. Media centre here. They have an issue.
Yes, they do seem to be moving very fast today.
Don't know whether our ground crew there can get down to that car and see what's going on. Adi and Grizz down there with their hand cameras. I come across with a drone as well. We've got something interesting going on over the other side, haven't we? There's some punches down here. Hold on a second. Let's bring the drone in. Some pretty. I mean, that gives you an idea of some of the terrain on the site, doesn't it?
Yep, so you got the wide shot there from me, and that is literally that hill there that we are hovering above.
Oh. So if I try and bring that in, you can actually see. I mean,
I can see the recovery crews sat on the ridge behind there, just watching what's going on.
is that Bolt, I think, down there?
That does look like his car, yes, from the roof. Yeah.
Still got a bit of Land Cruiser front end, even though the rest of it's caged these days.
So there's obviously some punches up there against those trees in that section.
Oh, look at the size of those rocks there. I wonder if they've got to go up into there. Don't know how unpleasant the course Kirk has been.
Well, that's the thing, you're now down to more difficult punches, aren't you? So you're going to have to hunt them out, eke them out. They're going to be in there somewhere. It looks like there's another car now entering that section as well behind them.
So we can see right in there, we can see what the co-driver's doing there. He's spooling off a lot of cable. He's going to have to go and climb up there somewhere in the rocks to find a tree to actually get a wind point on. Saying earlier, it's a pretty physical job for these guys.
Yeah,
once you get into these more tricky punches.
That's Steph there, so
yeah, sorry, girls, not guys.
She'll certainly be working hard today.
Yeah, definitely. There she is, going off into the undergrowth to go and find somewhere to connect that cable. So I think there we can just about see to the left of Steph there. Is that a pink tag in the trees on the rocks there? So that'll be where the car is that they're going for.
Yeah, that could well be. So that's quite the winch they've got to do there. That's probably got to be a good most of the cable.
Yeah, we'll see it back out. We'll see the car down the bottom of the hill there. And remember, they've got to bring the A-pillar alongside that winch string. So pump string.
Do you believe we just had another car come in through the quarry up here?
There we go.
Round series. Oh, there we are. It escaped me. And we've got somebody else just coming through the quarry here, so we're now probably starting to see people now completing their laps now back out again after lunch, I should imagine. Oh, they're in fact doing the bogey section. So we have a car in the bogey section.
Have a little focus on that?
Yeah, let's have a look, see what we can see over there in the bogey section. So just looking at now the live in front of us here, so we can see that Mark Dean car 3 is on 7 laps. We've got car 33 Ryan Lawrence there on 6 laps, along with car 27 Michael Scanlon also on 6 laps. So I think they're kind of our physical over the ground kind of top people at the moment. So yeah, I mean, they're really flying basically, those, to get that kind of number of laps in. I mean, we're now just come up to 1 o'clock and we're on 7 laps basically. And yeah, I mean, car 7, no, sorry, yeah, so car 3 was in fact 3rd off the line this morning. So they've obviously been putting in some good times. I mean, that's all kind of just what we're seeing. So we've got penalties and things like that to go through. So if they haven't been collecting punches, of course, then they'll get some penalties there, won't they?
Ooh. So is that car 26 there in the bogey section? Yeah, there's a bit of me. Warren Bridgman. Oh, no, hang on a minute. 26, I think. Oh, yeah, sorry. Some pretty gnarly rocks. Nice challenge style machine there, Discovery, they say. Bounces over that with very little effort. It's just coming through to the end of the bogey now.
So they got that reverse part coming up.
It's interesting, that course doesn't seem to be getting cut up actually as more cars do it. So there was a lot of discussion in the briefing and amongst the crew whether that was going to get easier or harder through the weekend.
And what's that? You got another car coming through live on course as well next to
Yeah,
them?
I was a little bit low there. They're going to miss it? Yeah, they're going straight on. So is that Will Webster?
Does look like Will Webster's car actually from here, yeah.
And 26 there, just coming in to check out with the marshal, and they'll get straight back out on course behind Will there.
Of course, if they've hit any flags, crossed any tape, stuff like that, obviously all that adds up to penalties as well.
It's a pretty clean run, I think, for those guys. It's a very nice little run. And again, that's where some of these sort of more challenge type trucks can come into their own. Good steering lot, good wheel travel. They can clear the obstacles in that bogey pretty easily. Just watching them traverse the hill there. Any moment, we'll see them pop back up on the force camera over the brow of the hill. thought that Will Webster's trucks are probably one of my favourite looking cars. Keeps a bit of a Land Rover look, but with a complete tube chassis.
Focus. Let's focus.
He's not pulling away from that Team 26 Discovery though. See how they go through the boggy bit.
So I think we're going to close the live there now. Everybody's enjoyed the footage that we've managed to give you. It sounds like Richard's drone is just going out of battery as well. So we'll end it there and see you guys tomorrow morning for the next live. Remember, off the start line, 8:30. We'll be on before that. Thank you very much, everybody.
See you all tomorrow.